Still on the bird fair on YouTube here, looking through. Guyana had a representative this year. Actually, he was one of our guides. Actually, the people that were at the bird fair were wilderness explorers, Tony Thorne, and of course, then you had Mr. Waldyke Prince, who was an ambassador who came up there as a rep, along with myself. And believe you me, there's Waldyke Prince, and also there's another tourist guide I know, Leon Moore. These guys are brilliant. These guys are so educated. I decided to have a chat with Wally just about what he does, his life, and what Guyana is about, where he lives. He lives in the interior regions in the Rupununi. So I asked him to tell me all about what he's doing there. Here's what he has to say.
Hi, good day. Welcome to the Guyana booth. I'm here from Guyana. My name is Waldyke Prince, better known as Wally Prince, representing Guyana as an ambassador this year for my country, which I'm very proud of, to be here to show the world and to exhibit to the world the products and the whole story, in a way, of Guyana. As you can see, we're at the annual British Bird Watching Fair. It's been occurring here for over 25 years. This is my third trip here, and I'm here not only representing Guyana but also representing the guys who do the ground truthing, the ones who take you there, the ones who fulfill all your expectations, the ones who make your trip memorable for a lifetime. That's what we do. I'm one of the guides. I'm actually a guide instructor also, and I'm a wildlife biologist in terms of not only being trained, but that's me. In terms of loving nature, living with nature. I actually live in the interior of Guyana, and our way of enhancing your experience when you visit Guyana. I'm talking about everybody who visits Guyana, even the Guyanese who live on the coast, to come towards the interior, because a lot of people in Guyana themselves look to go out of Guyana instead of coming inwards. Know your backyard, as we say, before you begin to know the hedges and over the hedge. What we do is, it entails taking you out onto your trips. We coordinate in terms of logistics. The responsibility of a guide is a lot. The responsibility of a tour leader like myself is much more, because I'm one to greet you at the airport, take you on your 2 weeks adventure, and bring you back safely, and see you off back to the airport and back to the country that you go. Safety is a big emphasis for us. As a guide, safety is something that I instill in the guides when I train them, and safety is a paramount question in the mind of all visitors to Guyana. They want to know how safe they are with respect to the environment, with respect to the food, with respect to even interaction with people. And the beauty about it is that Guyana is a very, very, very friendly place. One of the key things about Guyana, we're the only English-speaking country in the continent of South America. So we have the beauty and the vastness of the South American continent, but also the culture of the Caribbean. And those are added plus for us. We are a land of 6 people, as it's known, and you might even call it 7, because everybody now are into marriages. So, so Guyana is becoming one in terms of, ethnicity. A typical trip to Guyana that involves nature scene, you have the coastal area of Guyana, and that area entails, when you fly into Guyana, you fly into Georgetown. You can go to several areas along the coast to do various nature activities, including where we have Shell Beach, which 4 species of the marine turtle comes to do the annual laying, starting from around March of every year, including the giant leatherback, which is a turtle that can get over 2 meters long. Our pathway into the interior of Guyana actually follows this line and comes along here, goes through Ewakrama, and as far as Letta mainly. So your areas of traveling through is going through different forest types, different environments, different waterways, and you will be able to see many streams, creeks, and rivers. That the word Guyana actually means land of many waters. The areas that you will be visiting while in Guyana, including the Kaicho Falls area, which Some folks opt for overnight, some do an overland trip that might last about 5 days. Your typical visitor to Kaiecho would probably just have about 2 hours and then on to Ornduk and then on to the other lodges within the Rupununi or back to the Baganara lodges in the Essequibo River area, Essequibo River mouth area. We're out of the malaria zone. We have mosquitoes throughout Guyana, but it's only in the mining areas which visitors do not go to, where we don't have itineraries for, and such that's the only area that would have mosquitoes infected with malaria parasite. But your typical area, so you're going to the area where it's malaria free. Yellow fever has been advised in terms of taking yellow fever shots, but you're in a yellow fever free zone. You don't need, it's not compulsory to have a yellow fever shot to come to Guyana. Our ticks that we do have are Lyme disease free, so they don't carry any infection. Our other little creepy crawlies are not so dangerous, and rest assured that you have the guides for the bigger ones that you might encounter. For some people who might be a little bit concerned with spiders or let's say venomous snakes, you have the guides, which are your extra eyes, ears, and noses to facilitate and to take care and to protect you. So we're the ones that are constantly monitoring from the moment you arrive to the moment you depart. Well, to give you a little bit of overview of myself, I'm a guide. I'm a guide instructor. I'm a tour guide, a natural history interpreter. How it all started for me was just from the days of growing up in the countryside, in the Berbice area, and that's where my love for nature began. And it's something that I live within it. I now live in the Rupununi area, and I live and breathe in the environment every single day of my life. This is my third visit, or my third presentation at the UK Bird Fair. In 2008, I also went to the American Birding Association seminar and booth presentation representing Guyana again in Utah. And I've been representing Guyana at several other occasions, and even along in Brazil in 2006 at the International Herpetological and Ichthyology, which is fish conference, which is a several days conference in Manaus. So I've been around. A few people would know Wally. I've worked at the Iwakrama Rainforest as the head guide, the guide instructor, the rangers and tour guide training, faunal instructor. I've been at Iwakrama from around 1999 to until the ending of 2010. I'm presently working as a freelance guide and also engage in biological surveys for EIAs and such, and I'm still training guides. I continuously train guides. I train guides both formally on the program and informally when I visit the lodges with other tour groups, because I still continually do assessment and provide advice and get feedbacks and answer questions and all of it. Because at the end of the day, we were looking for a high standard, a high product with respect to the guides, so that it would be a standard professional service across the country. And that's one of the my personal aim in terms of myself and having the guides of Guyana be at a level even beyond my ability.
Finally, how easy it is to traverse within the Rupununi areas and getting from Georgetown? Is it a difficult process?
It's not difficult to get from Georgetown into the interior area. It's quite easy. There's a regular air service called Trans-Guyana Air that does several flights in a day. There are a few other air services. Air Service Limited is another one, and Wings. You can fly from Georgetown, so from the city itself is about a 10 minutes drive out to Ogle Airport, and then from there it's about an hour and a half to get you into the Rupununi. It's about an hour and a half flight to get you to the bottom the border with Guyana, Brazil, which is the Latin community, and about an hour 15 minutes or so to get you to Anai, which is in the Anai at Rockview area, which is in the heart of the Rupununi area for the northern section of the Rupununi, for especially folks who want to visit the Aracrama Forest with the Canopy Walkway, who wants to visit the community, the well-known community of Surama. Anai would be a place to land, and Surama now has an active airstrip, so you can land in that community itself. Other ways of getting into the Rupununi, which will take longer, would be by road. So you can drive into the Rupununi. It'll take you about an 8 hours journey, but the flip side of that coin is that you get to see a lot, much more as you traverse along the road towards the Rupununi, because the plane flight is over the trees and you're there. Driving by road, you're actually through the tree tunnels, and that allows you to see many chances. There are several things personally I have seen while driving along the road, from jaguars to tapirs to several primates to eagles to big caracid birds, agoutis, snakes, invertebrates, reptiles, you name it. There are a lot of things, so it depends on the season, what time of the year you're traveling along the road. So you can't. They're the usual suspects of parrots, macaws, some of the flycatchers, and something like you might see the red rump agouti. So those are the usual suspects on a road trip. Moving around the Rupununi area entails either going by 4x4 vehicles, so pickup, or boat trips. So like some of the other communities like Fariwa Eco Lodge and Apoteri, and even sometimes Carnambo, and Carnambo is famous for the giant river otters and the giant anteater. You can do a boat trip. Boat trips or river transfer is like an extra. Both river transfer and road transfers in the Rupununi is like an excursion in themselves, because you see a lot. You can't just driving along or boating along and then there's so much to see that you're just going to zip by. So it's transfers from one lodge to the other in the Rupununi, and you could nearly say once in the interior Guyana, they could be considered excursions themselves. So it's quite easily to move around by road, by boat, and by aircraft to the interior of Guyana. Guyana, which is meaning of the word of land of many waters, is divided into 3 counties. There's Essequibo, Demerara, and Berbice. Essequibo being the largest county, Berbice being called the ancient county, and Demerara is the main county that the city of Georgetown is located at the mouth. The Essequibo River, which is the largest river in Guyana, is the 3rd largest river in South America, and it actually contains over 360 islands, so nearly named islands. So there's actually a named island for every day of the year. The rest of the country is divided into rainforests in the different rainforests, highlands, savannas, and hilly areas. And you can traverse straight through from Guyana into Brazil, where there's the connecting road to the one main road that runs through the country. There's a rainy season in the Rupununi area that the water can rise from between 2 to 6 meters. This happened between May to July month-end. And what we call a gateway into the interior, familiarly known as the gateway to the interior of Guyana, is the Bartica region, which is on the junction of the river between the Essequibo and the Mazaruni mouth. Bartica, not too far from Bartica, was Cartabo Point, which was one of the oldest biological or neotropical resort station in the Caribbean and in South America. And that's in a nutshell some of the additional information with respect to Guyana.
With that, well, it's well said, and success on your next venture.
Thank you, and I'm looking forward to be here again as a continuous ambassador to my country, and to enlighten people about Guyana and to let them come and enjoy what we have to offer, to take back the memories that I know will last them for a lifetime, but even more to meet the unique and hospitable and very friendly people of our beautiful land.